So for a lot of people, that was their first time kind of flying on their own as far as creating their own solo, and I think they all did a pretty good job. Let's give everybody one more round of applause. I didn't have the guts to do that when I was in high school. We didn't have a great jazz program, so I didn't really learn how to do anything like that until college. And my jazz band director basically took me by the pants and threw me on the stage and said, "Play!" And so I had to, and you kind of learn, and there were a lot of bad things that happened, and then I learned that I should try to maybe sound good. And so I got better at it as college went on, and then I lived with a jazz piano player, and he helped me out with that. So these kids are way ahead of many musicians. So I'm very excited about the solos they've been able to produce. You saw me doing this a lot, and some of you might think that I'm telling them to like think or something. This stands for head. And in jazz, the melody is called the head. So when we're going back to the melody, I point at my head so they all know to go to the head. So just a little insight for you. I know, exciting. We have one final piece to perform for you. Before we do, I just want to thank a few people. First of all, the administrators here, I say this at every concert, so you all know that we have great administrative support here at Lake Middle School. Tonight is actually the first night that an administrator hasn't been able to actually make it to the concert because there's a school board meeting and there are a couple other committees meeting, so none of our three principals could make it. So they told our administrative interns to show up. And so earlier Tyler Nelson was here, and right now our orchestra teacher, who is an administrative intern, Allison Johnson, is here to support us. Because we also have with us our district music coordinator, who's been a major help in a lot of transition we've had in the past few years. And she is always the voice of the music department at the District Service Center. It's Nancy Wiesner, and she's sitting right here. Thank you so much for all you do. Nancy's the person that advocates for programs like this to happen after school, and she advocates for the money that funds this. So without her, this would not happen. Finally, I'd like to thank the kids for staying late after school and working on their music. And you know, when I ask them to practice, they do it, and for the most part. And they come to their next rehearsal with the music being better than it was. And with all the things that are going on, I know that's not easy to do on top of smart music assignments and hockey practice and basketball and all the other things they're doing. So thank you. And thank you for making arrangements for picking them up late and for encouraging them in this activity. I mean, obviously for me, it's one of the most important things in my life, and I hope that they start to see that as well, that music's not only something to do, but it's a way to be. So thank you for all your support. We have one final piece called Act Your Age. It was written by Gordon Goodwin, who is kind of one of the hot composers in LA right now. He writes a lot of studio music, has a few CDs out. This arrangement is by Peter Blair. Act